Hello fellas, back with me Vega, and in this video I want to tell my trip to Manado and to keep the memories in a video form so it can stay alive forever. So it started from Malang. We flew to Jakarta on April 17. I flew there with my uncle and his family. When we arrived at Halim Perdana Kusuma International Airport, it was already afternoon, around 3 p.m., but we still had to go to my uncle's house. I mean, the other uncles, okay? So let's make this clear first. This is my first uncle, who's 8-year age gap from his younger brother. I call this uncle Omde, or big uncle, and the other one Omle, or little uncle. Back to the story. Jakarta was so hot and very crowded that afternoon. Like, it was very frustrating and made me feel tired even though we haven't been around. Literally, I spent like goddamn 30 minutes there on the road, and I couldn't imagine more how stressed people here to experience this every day. Keep strong, people. You. We stayed for 2 days there, and on April 19th, we flew to Manado from Soekarno-Hatta International Airport. It was a 3.5-hour flight. We arrived at Samratulangi Airport at around 3 p.m. and then we continued to looking up a dinner place. One of many attractions Manado serve is its seafood. Their seafood are savory but has some sweet hints because it is fresh from the ocean. Also, they offer some flavorful spices and sauces, making it more pleasant to eat.
Apalagi yang megangnya cowok ya.
Several types of flavoring spices from Manado are rica-rica, waku-waku, kuah asam or sour broth, and etc. They also have their signature sambal kind, which is sambal roa. It is made from sambal ingredients but mixed with shredded raw fish, and it was very delicious. Oh my god. Oh yeah, as long as I stayed in Manado, I always had opportunity to see such a beautiful sunset for almost every day. I really love sunset. I really love that scenery. For real. On the second day, we traveled around the city and visited the oldest church in Manado City. It is called Gereja Masehi Injil di Minahasa, Centrum Manado. Built in 1677, this church is still used as a place of worship, like other churches in general. Beside the church, there is a historical monument called World War II Monument, built by Van den Bosch. This monument was built as a memorial of Second World War, both for the Allies, the Japanese, and the people during the Second World War. After that, we also visited the oldest Konghucu temple in Manado, which is called, I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrongly, I don't speak Mandarin, which is called Ban Hin Kiong Temple. And not so far from the first temple, there is another temple named Quan Kong Temple. You only need to cross the main road beside Ban Hin Kiong Temple, and tada! You arrived! For the dinner, we got our dinner at Wisata Bahari restaurant. This restaurant is very famous that many artists and popular figures visited here. Gus Dur, our fourth president, Raffi Ahmad, and a few ministers are the examples.
Halo semua.
On the third day, we went to one of the most famous national marine park in Indonesia, which is Bunaken. I really loved the trip. Our tour agent was Manado Adventure. You can check their profile by the link I put on the description. They have a really nice boat and they provide your lunch too. But what I loved the most was the diving time. FYI, it was my first time ever to try this stuff, so I was still making myself used to it. It was a little bit difficult, but the guide was very hateful of me. But unfortunately, I felt that the duration was too short. It took quite a long time to get used to the proper way of diving, as well as adjusting the breathing mechanism. But after I got used to it, we had to go back to the boat because our oxygen cylinders were almost empty. But for conclusion, I am blown away by the scenery. Really. It was so beautiful. It was so awesome. Manado City is near to beaches, so the weather almost always sunny and hot during day. So on fourth day, we went to the slightly colder zone. Yeah, we went to Tomohon. It is the upper side of Manado City. They have a few mountains and hills. We paid a visit to a few tourist attractions such as Bukit Doa, and then we having brunch and enjoying the view of Lino Lake. TMI, my auntie, and my cousin almost get lost after walking around the stations of the cross. We were enjoying our walk so much that we didn't know where did we ended up in the end of the way. That was hilarious. I said to my father that I got lost, but it turns out that we ended up in the other side of parking area. Oh, my father was a little bit panicked, said my uncle. Sorry, Ayah. Sorry.
Sama bapak ya.
Among the 6-day trip to Manado, I really loved the 5th-day trip. It is very memorable for me. We went to Lembeh Strait to do another dive session. I am addicted, to be honest, so I'm very thankful to my Omde and his wife who was providing me this memory. Lembeh Strait, located in Bidong City, 42 kilometers away from Manado City via tolls. In Lembeh, we met a bunch of kind guides who led us professionally.
Selamat pagi.
They explained knowledges about diving to us, and it was easy to understand. Since this was the second time we had diving experience, we were better off than the first time we tried it. So I felt that I enjoyed this diving time to the fullest. Once again, the guys were really taking care of us. They'd ask you if you're feeling okay or not, or is there a problem within your wetsuit. But unfortunately, this time they didn't take many videos here, so I'll show you the photos of some critters I found there. They are very unique. Unlike the creatures you'd find in other dive sites, Lembeh Strait is the mock diving capital of the world and definitely one of the best macro photography destinations in the world. Please don't expect like beautiful coral reefs in Lembeh itself. Instead, they offer you a scenery of myriad of critters, frogfish, pipefish, nudibranch, seahorses, juvenile fish, and other exotic animals. A few days afterwards, I asked my dive buddy about how was my diving capability. We went to two dive sites. He explained that at first dive site in Sarana Island, my remaining oxygen bar was 100 bars within dive time 45 minutes and maximum depth of 15 meters. And then at the second dive site, Nudie Falls, my remaining oxygen bar was 40 bars within dive time 55 minutes and maximum depth of 23.5 meters. He said that it was quite impressive for someone who had only done 2 times of diving. And yeah, that was our trip to Manado for 6 days, and it was really a pleasure. Oh, on the sixth day, we went back to Jakarta. I hope I'll have more experiences and explore more cities in my country or abroad. Goodbye, fellas. Stay tuned for my next video. Bye. Bye. Goodbye.